The crypto market's ticking up a bit as I'm recording this, but let's face it, nothing too exciting. XRP and the rest are just bouncing around in their usual range. Same story, different day, right? But let me ask you, do you know what's coming next? I'll tell you what's coming next, and I'll say it loud and clear. A brand new all-time high for XRP. Think about it. After nearly 7 years of grinding through that symmetrical triangle, do you really think XRP is going to hit its old high? Tired of fake gurus who claim to be expert traders but never trade live? I trade live on the second largest crypto exchange, where everything is transparent and results can't be faked. For over 440 days, I've consistently closed every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $34,000 in profits, with only 4% drawdown. Verified results, not empty claims. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in my profile and start copying my trades for free today. Wink at us and call it a day? Well, that was fun. Thanks for the memories. Nope, not buying it. That doesn't add up. This market cycle has bigger plans, and I'm here for it. There's a lot to consider when diving into the 4-year market cycle. It's a real phenomenon, and how those dramatic blow-off tops tend to play out. Right now, we're not seeing the usual signals that scream market top. Historically, there are certain indicators you'd expect to appear when a cycle is winding down, but they're just not there. So, what does that mean? It means the best might still be ahead. In this hot update, I'll walk you through insights from several XRP chart analysts and explain why, if you're feeling uneasy or a little impatient, it might be time to shift your thinking. Before I go on, let me be clear. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not here to give advice, and you shouldn't buy or sell based on anything I say. I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves making YouTube videos for fun. As I record this, it's 12:48 a.m. Eastern Time. That's right, Eastern. Not my usual Central, because I've been on a cross-country trek. My girlfriend's little sister decided to get married, and I opted to drive instead of fly. Don't ask why. So I've been logging some serious highway miles lately. Oh, and just for fun, this is something I've been sharing in recent videos. Here's where I'm sitting as I record this. It's been a journey, literally and figuratively, and I can't wait to dive into this topic with you. Wow, this has to be the most ridiculous setup I've ever had to use to record a red-hot jam. Seriously, what is this nonsense? Let me paint you a picture. It's an oval cart. Yeah, an actual oval cart with a handle, and it's just sitting here, begging to be wheeled around like some lost grocery store reject. Who thought this was a good idea? You can't even use the space properly. It's just there mocking me. Why not just give me a regular desk? You know, a stationary one with actual horizontal surfaces, like a normal rectangular desk that doesn't look like it's trying to win a design contest no one asked for. Why reinvent the wheel when the wheel is already perfectly fine? What's the deal here? And this is what I've got to work with. Look at this. My Dunder Mifflin mousepad can't even fit on this thing. It's just dangling off the edge like it's hanging on for dear life. Levitating. Defying gravity. It's straight up ridiculous. This whole setup makes me want to scream. It's enough to make anyone's blood boil. Let me tell you, this really grinds my gears. Folks, here's what I'm dealing with. The absolute worst setup I've ever seen. Don't even get me started. Right now, I'm in Georgia, heading back home after a wedding in Florida. And you know what I keep seeing everywhere down here? What is this madness? I brought it up, and some people actually tried to defend this nonsense. This photo? Yeah, I took it at a gas station. Behold, boiled peanuts. Just sitting there, floating in some questionable nondescript liquid. Who knows how long they've been stewing? Days, weeks, an eternity. Honestly, it's anyone's guess. They're dumped in what looks like a commercial crock pot, just chilling. And I swear every single gas station I stop at has this crime against snacking. I'm telling you, I can't trust it. Who eats this stuff? Maybe there's a version of this concept that doesn't scream gas station vibes. Maybe you could convince me there, but if this is your pitch, well, let's just say it's time to find a new anthem for the moon landing, because this one isn't lifting off. That said, the best days are definitely still ahead. Check out this post from chart analyst Bob Ye, one of the XRP experts I follow, who nailed the call on XRP breaking out this market cycle. It's no shock that a seasoned pro like him isn't panicking over the lack of a euphoric blow-off top just yet. After all, isn't that how cycles typically end? Historically speaking, the answer is a solid yes. Here's what he had to say. No euphoric phase equals no top. It's really that simple. Patience is the name of the game. Most people are just restless. Sometimes the hardest and smartest move is doing absolutely nothing. Exactly. That's why I'm bringing this up. Right now, as the crypto market drifts sideways and feels a bit dull compared to the wild swings of the past few months, I get it. People are checking out, capitulating, thinking, maybe this really is the end. But hold on, that mindset doesn't hold up when you look at history. Sure, I'll give you this. No one can predict the future with absolute certainty. Okay, fine. Here's the twist though. It's pretty straightforward, and you can run with this idea. If history is any guide, and it often rhymes rather than repeats, then the best days are still ahead. The only exception? A true black swan event. Something massive and unforeseen on a global scale that completely shatters the markets. Sure, fair enough. But barring that, there's no reason to believe the story's over, and that's how it goes, year after year. Sure, some anomaly could pop up, but beyond that, it just doesn't add up for human behavior, which we've seen repeat like clockwork every 4-year cycle, to suddenly flip for no clear reason. Look back at past cycles. I've been around for the last 2. Each time, people were convinced the end had arrived before it actually did. The doubt, the panic, it was all there. Oh, it's over, they'd say. That's it. And yet, every time, there was that final blow off top. Every single cycle. So now, we're supposed to believe this time's different? That Bitcoin dominance won't sink as funds pour into altcoins and the usual patterns play out? I'm not buying it. Sure, a black swan event could happen. And yes, there's real market fear brewing, mainly thanks to the Trump tariff drama. But honestly, without going too deep into the weeds, because let's be real, this isn't the place for that, I think it's all a strategic bluff, a negotiating ploy. Still, that's not the whole story. Not even close. I really believe he's ready to deliver on everything he's promised in this area. That's the whole point. But wow, it's been rattling the markets. Turns out, markets absolutely hate uncertainty. They just can't handle it. They crave stability and clarity. Before the election, I kept saying, just wait, let the election happen. If you were tuning in back then, you'll remember I kept emphasizing this. Once markets have clarity, they start to rebound. And I mentioned multiple times that when markets get what they want, boom, you'll see a surge. On the flip side, even if they don't get exactly what they hoped for, after some adjustment to the new reality, things tend to bounce back because markets are cyclical. It's all about how they react in the short term. Well, with Trump's win, the markets got exactly what they wanted, and boy, did they take off. That's why XRP finally saw that massive jump. Now, if Harris had won, it might have looked rocky at first, but I bet markets would have adapted, found their footing, and still moved upward eventually. That's just how it works. Liquidity is still in play, but here's the thing. Markets absolutely hate uncertainty. It's just the nature of the game. Right now, with all the unpredictability swirling around, it's no shocker that risk-on assets like stocks and crypto are feeling the heat. But let's not jump to conclusions. Markets don't stay stuck forever. Check out this intriguing headline from Daily Huddle. President Trump's tariffs could set the stage for a much bigger recovery rally than expected, says investor Tom Lee. Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat, believes resolving Trump's tariff war could spark a major boost for financial markets. In a fresh CNBC interview, he argues that despite all the doom and gloom headlines, the tariff threats may have already done most of their damage, leaving room for a surprisingly positive rebound. Lee points to the stock market correction of 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis, when markets hit bottom before the crisis was even resolved. Here's the thing. History shows us that scary moments like these often resolve themselves quickly, and then markets tend to bounce back. Of course, let me just address the big what if. If a true black swan event happens and everything spirals out of control, the market could take a serious hit for a while. Fair enough, I'll give you that. But even in that scenario, what's the real fear here? That the market will never recover? Think about that for a second. Do you truly believe the world's largest capital market, the US, wouldn't rebound? Betting against that feels like betting against gravity. So, are you ready to make that kind of bet right now? Because I'm not. The flow of capital is clear. It's pouring into stocks, and now, unmistakably, into the crypto market too. Betting against that momentum feels like swimming upstream, not for me. How about you? Even if the worst case scenario plays out and delays our much anticipated XRP windfall, not that I'm counting, okay, maybe a little. So what? Markets always bounce back stronger, and honestly, even that disastrous scenario isn't the end of the world. Tom Lee shares a similar optimism, and frankly, I'm with him. He believes, based on his analysis, that we're not only due for a major upswing, but that it's likely to happen sooner than we think. Here's his take. I think markets should view this positively. When we talk to our clients, many see tariffs as punitive or protectionist, potentially pushing some economies into recession. But this could actually lead to a positive outcome, one that's mutually beneficial or reciprocal. A deal like that could set the stage for an even bigger recovery rally than anyone expects. Sounds like the perfect setup for a comeback, doesn't it? Here's the real takeaway from this perspective. When the market hits peak fear, even in the short term, what's really happening? Think about it. When fear takes over, especially on higher time frames, it often signals something crucial. But even on shorter time frames, when you see notable levels of panic, impatience, and uncertainty, kind of like where we are now, it's often a sign you're nearing the bottom. Why? Because human psychology is at play, and it directly impacts market behavior in fascinating ways. So here's the deal. He goes on to say, we've got 8 trading days left until April 2nd. Most investors are feeling seasick from all the market swings, ready to give up. But here's the thing. Markets tend to bottom out before the big event actually hits. Case in point, the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. That standoff lasted 12 days, and the stock market hit rock bottom by day 7. Guess what happened next? It bounced back, recovering 2/3 of its losses before the conflict was even resolved. It's not perfect science, but it's a pretty solid playbook for what we might see now. End quote. Alright, let's compare that to what's happening right now. What's the current situation? In recent weeks, with all the fear and uncertainty swirling around, and yeah, this has been dragging on a bit longer than a typical crisis, we've seen both the stock market and crypto take a hit. Downturns like this? They're actually pretty normal, especially in the world of crypto, where corrections are just part of the game. If fear and uncertainty are a big driver of this dip, sure, I can believe that. But honestly, I don't think the news is usually the main force behind market moves. Most of the time, it's just people speculating, sometimes with reasons, often without. A lot of it's reactionary. Something happens, people see the news of the day, and they immediately blame it for the market shifts. But really? It's mostly people reacting to each other. It's this chain reaction, a follow-the-leader mentality. And let's face it, plenty of people just panic and bail at the first sign of trouble. That's the reality of investing. And honestly, it's why most folks don't make money in crypto. They don't have the guts to stick it out. They cave too easily. But hey, take a look at this. You'll see what I mean. China analyst TechDev is calling the shots for Bitcoin's next move, and he's keeping it simple. Liquidity is the name of the game. This chart right here, it's all about the liquidity-weighted business cycle. The key takeaway, as liquidity rises, Bitcoin follows. That's it. Unless you really believe this time is different, why give in to fear? Makes no sense, right? Just food for thought. Switching gears, let's talk XRP. Chart analyst Crypto Wizard has some bold predictions. A big week awaits, he says. XRP has bounced off weekly support and is holding strong, with a potential new all-time high looming above $2.80. The key message, patience pays. So, what's next for XRP? According to a wave of chart analysts, a fresh all-time high is on the horizon. They're staying optimistic, even with the market moving sideways. The tune hasn't changed. XRP believers are playing the long game. XRP continues to stand out with incredible strength compared to nearly everything else in the market. Let's dive in. Chart analyst The Great Matsby recently shared an intriguing post. XRP has already broken out and successfully backtested its trend. Could another breakout be on the horizon? Possibly. But predicting when? That's not my game. I don't do price or time predictions either. What I offer instead are high-conviction ideas based on countless factors. Here's my take. If you hold long enough, you'll notice the crypto market as a whole keeps expanding, and XRP's utility ensures it maintains a consistent share of that ever-growing pie. And what does that mean? Simple. XRP's price rises. Yes, number go up. That's the vision, boiled down. But you know, not boiled peanut boiled. That's messy and weird. Think of it more like a tidy nutshell you'd proudly carry around. A nutshell worth having. Yeah, that one. I believe this is exactly where we're headed. Take a look at this update from chart analyst Dark Defender. XRP is quietly hovering around the volume median of $2.39, though we're currently sitting just below it. Here's the daily breakdown. $2.22 acts as support, and if XRP dips further, it could slide to the channel bottom before resuming its climb toward $2.50. This week is crucial, with XRP navigating these key levels. As Dark Defender notes, we're in monthly wave 4, which ultimately leads us to wave 5 and higher targets on the horizon. If you check the chart, it's pointing to a potential new all-time high of $3.39. For me, It's only a matter of time. After more than 7 years of unwavering belief, I'm ready to stay patient for as long as it takes to see this through. We've already seen major wins. XRP is officially not a security. That's a huge step forward, and I feel more confident than ever. It took over 7 years, but we've finally been proven right. XRP has hit a new all-time high. Vindication feels good, doesn't it? While Bitcoin and Ethereum have their moments, XRP is showing incredible strength. And for those of us paying attention in 2024, this was no surprise. It just made sense, and now it's playing out as expected. But there's one last milestone left: XRP entering full-blown price discovery. And trust me, I believe it's coming. I really do. If I'm wrong, I'll own it, but everything in me says we're on the brink. We're not going to zero, far from it. I think we're headed for another all-time high, breaking barriers, and entering price discovery in a way that's going to blow minds. That's my bold expectation. Melted faces ahead. If there's one lesson here, it's this: patience pays off. I didn't know it would take 7 long years for XRP to reach this point, but waiting it out proved to be the right call. Sometimes just staying in the game is all it takes, and now I believe the best is yet to come. The reason XRP remains a top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap is simple: it works. The market recognizes its value because it delivers. Without its cutting-edge technology and incredible potential for payments, XRP wouldn't have lasted this long, let alone thrived. I wouldn't back it if it didn't have what it takes. And it's not just me, you see it too. So does everyone paying attention. After over a decade of successes, it defies logic to second-guess XRP now. The proof is right in front of us. It's functional, it's impactful, and it's here to stay. The world will catch up eventually, but they'll learn the hard way. By the time they do, we'll already be ahead. You're still early. Less than 1% of the world's population has ever held XRP, yet it's holding steady above $2. Now imagine what happens when that percentage climbs. The potential is staggering. Check this out. Chart analyst Z Gray Crypto just shared an exciting update. XRP is on track to complete a full-body candle formation with the Q1 2025 quarterly close, marking its first ever all-time high. Let that sink in. History in the making for XRP. Isn't it amazing to witness this unfold? The XRP analysts I brought on board, they saw it coming. Their conviction hasn't wavered, and neither has mine. Here's the thing: you don't need to be a chart wizard to grasp the basics. When technology is useful, traded on open markets, and given time, its sector grows and more money flows in. It's not rocket science. It's just how markets evolve. There's nothing extraordinary about me. My XRP is worth a fortune now compared to what I paid, simply because I've been patient. Honestly, that's the story for most of my crypto portfolio. That's just how this game works. Either you're in when the big moves happen, or you're not. And if there's another pullback, who cares? Zoom out and look at the big picture. I do. Patience is the name of the game, and that's how you actually win. Oh, and by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't go buying or selling anything because of what I say. Seriously, that would be an incredibly bad idea.